Hey everyone, welcome to another podcast of MLM Scores, where we bring you the top voices from the world of MLM and crypto industry. Today we have Chris, the founder of Construct Koin. This coin is amazing. This coin is going to build a history. So great to have you on the show, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Chirag. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys, yourself and your audience. I've also asked a partner of ours, Adrian Elshaw, the chairman of Beaufort Homes, to join us, just to really sort of bring our story to life and to help your audience understand a bit more about what we're doing.
Sounds
Hey,
good.
Cherry. Hi.
Hey Adrian, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
All right,
Cool.
guys. So man, that property development finance has been broken for decades. So what inspired you to build Construct Coin as a solution for that?
Yeah, so Chirag, the UK market has been affected by a number of different things over the years, right, that have influenced the access to finance and the opportunities that developers have. And I
Yeah.
think in the advent of Web3 and decentralized finance, the UK has probably been slower to catch up in terms of accessing and making mainstream access to new ways of finding solutions to finance
Yes.
readily available to businesses. And I think as a part of that, we experienced as a small scale developer back then
Mm-hmm.
uh, problems, just hurdle after hurdle when it came to accessing finance to fund property developments. And our opportunity that we recognised was that there's a huge need to simplify the process, streamline the appraisal information that finances tend to look at, to be able to make a decision based on the suitability of a particular development or the organisation trying to deliver a scheme,
Mm-hmm.
and more importantly, to be able to speed up that process. So once you have the information, to be able to make an informed decision that enables a developer to act. And of course, in the UK, the property industry props up so much of the economy that the speed of which a developer is able to deliver a scheme has a huge effect on the community and the economics around the establishment of that community. So we saw that the opportunity to deliver a new way of thinking for developers to be able to very quickly access funds that would enable them to both acquire sites for development and fund those developments through our model. And that was the essential moment that we realized that Construct Koin has a huge opportunity to bring unregulated lending into development, and to provide that scalability that would give developers a solution.
Very
From,
good.
from an end
Sounds good.
user, from an end user experience, it is that speed, the speed of decision, the speed of delivery of funds, the availability.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite unique. So yeah, it's been good so far, I have to say. So
Yeah, so we've been on quite a journey, and I think the solution that we're offering the market is one that provides organisations like Beaufort Homes, but developers across the board who have a very clear demographic in the market that they're in terms of who buys their properties, the opportunity to look at how they can play a very significant role, or a sizable role in solving the UK housing crisis, which is government demand for new properties, where the bottlenecks are fundamentally finance. That's one of the things that just isn't spoken about, because the market is predominantly dominated by larger organizations who don't tend to have that issue. But that creates a huge bottleneck, which means that other businesses just don't get the opportunity to access the funds that they need to be able to deliver developments and build schemes.
That sounds good. So how much time it took you to build that Construct Coin?
So we've been in the phase of seeding the company and the initial investment to find our first partner, which was Beaufort,
Yeah.
and acquire our first development. So in that process, we essentially created a private round to seed the company and secure this first development, which was a £12 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that has given us the opportunity to then establish our tokenomics, create our V1 of our white paper, and look at how we can roll out the protocol that we're building to bring Web3 and AI specifically into real estate.
Yeah.
And that concept probably took from inception to delivery just under a year.
Okay.
With our deployment of that first lending into the business, into the site, developing our tokenomics to today, where we have soft launched our token outside of the private round. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're into just about 12 months. So it's been a hard and fast
Yeah.
trajectory to establish the foundation to create the token and to create our plan to push the token through to decentralized exchanges as we push through the pre-sale. And obviously within that is establishing our bills and appraisal team
Mhm.
and partnerships and our technical team who are helping to essentially define that roadmap that our tokenomics are based from.
Lovely. So Construct Coin is called as utility token with real yield. Can you explain how staking and revenue sharing work for, everyday holders?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're in a 50 stage pre-sale, right? So acquiring your CTK token, the
Mhm.
immediate benefit that you take is from your that you benefit is your price point at the point of acquisition and the projected increase in value, which is essentially about the size of our loan book and the revenues which money deployed is generating from day one. So for
Okay.
every new development, we are providing that funding and we are returning the interest of that funding straight back into the CTK token.
Okay.
And that includes at the end of a build as those properties are presented for rental or even sold. So it's a mixture of both. In terms of exits for a developer, our proportional return is coming back to the CTK token. So that's generating yield from day one. The immediate benefit for that token holder, as I say, is that appreciation in their token price, which again forms a core part of our tokenomics. But the staking mechanisms exist through partnerships like what we have with Adrian's organization, whereby we are providing the trustee
Mhm.
relationship to be able to secure those returns that I've just referred to. So essentially, a CTK holder is able to benefit from that staking mechanism so that their investment in the token is generating a yield of 6 to 9%, depending on the term that they select. And then the secondary model is about the tokenization of units that we own, where we've partnered from day one. So these are parts of the development that we have available in the open market that are finished properties now that are available for rent. And of course, we're tenanting those properties, that's generating a revenue, and we're able to sell the ownership of that as an SPV, single purpose vehicle, as fractionalized against the value of tokens that you've purchased, which you're allocated additional fractionalized tokens for. So the staking mechanism is tethered to the amount of CTK tokens that you acquire
Mhm.
and the duration that you want to lock up. But essentially, your token position starts earning yield from day one.
Day
That's the
one.
essence of it.
That's
So you benefit as a CTK holder from the appreciation in the value of the token and the staking mechanism that is essentially funded by interest generated
Mhm.
through the lending or through the fractional ownership of the properties that we make available for CTK holders to participate in owning.
That's amazing. So what makes your Construct Coin different from other crypto projects claiming to be backed by real estate?
Well, I think the
Could I help?
yeah, I was going to say I think the best person to answer that question is probably the property developer in the room, right?
Go ahead, Mani.
Well, I can tell you, Chirag, that CK now owns proportions of the developments going forward. And as Chris alluded to there, we've a development that is complete where some properties are being held for rental return in
Mm-hmm.
partnership. So I guess to answer your question in short,
Mm-hmm.
we're not purporting to be backed, or Chris is not purporting to be backed by real world assets. He is backed by real world assets. It's a thing. So rather than it be a thing in the future, it's a thing now, and it's only going to grow. It's helped us reassess and become more ambitious in our pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
So our number of units delivered is going to grow. I wouldn't say exponentially, but it's going to grow quite significantly
Mm-hmm.
off the back of the really simple process that's been established.
And I think from a CTK protocol point of view, right, our ambition has always been to revolutionize real estate. And so that means how do we create tangible use cases that affect day-to-day lives? And the first one of those use cases is this huge transition that we're seeing in the evolution of AI and the uptake of AI that's changing industries. And
Mm-hmm.
real estate is one of those industries which is primed for that change and that innovation, because we're talking about, in the first instance, disintermediation and the use of AI to automate processes in sales, just for the agency world in real estate, right? So we've
Right.
got a number of use cases that we're looking at that we're working with Adrian and other developers on, which essentially automate the sales process as well as the lettings process, so we can create efficiency and provide another route to businesses, real estate businesses, engaging with the customer base, right? And CTK is powering that transition. The other aspect of it is AI in a home. So the advent of technology use in living space, be that for health reasons, be that for nutrition reasons, be that just for convenience, and being able to deliver a personalized AI experience in your living space. So these use cases all are part of the protocol that we're evolving to bring Web3 and blockchain innovation to day-to-day life, which make, rather than a forced experience of technology, make create technology dependencies that become the norm for people in day-to-day situations.
Well, I think we're in the homes that we're building currently with the CK funding, we're looking at that as a complementary impact on people's homes. So we're looking at energy efficiencies that can be run through the AI, which would ultimately make running their household cheaper. We're looking at home security.
Mm-hmm.
We're just making that available to our end users and home buyers, but through the innovation that Chris and his team are driving in the lending borrowing process, and in many other aspects. I guess it's opened my eyes
Right.
as a home builder to many more possibilities, but ultimately back to the streamlined lending process, which is quite unique here in the UK anyway, from my experience.
That's lovely.
And that protocol is foundation of the change that we're talking about. The AI lending piece is the first pillar. The disintermediation is the second pillar, and the smarter home concept is the third pillar. All of which are powered by AI, all of which are on the chain. And the transactional component that we refer to is, how does CTK become an essential means of exchange for users day to day? And that starts with that living experience. So how we're integrating transactional concepts into your day-to-day life. How that is exported to a wallet that can then be used in day-to-day scenarios and circumstances for those particular users. And of course, the more properties that we build that are powered by CTK, the more properties that our technology is integrated to, the easier that use case is to become a day-to-day for a demographic of the people that we serve.
We'll also to pick up the data and improve.
Yeah.
The more people using it, the more we can learn, and the better we can make it. I think that's
so. We're very proud to be pioneering what we see as really significant innovation in the industry. And of course, we've assembled great minds from partner companies who provide us with services and thought leadership in Web3 in particular, in AI, and of course in the property development world, to deliver intelligent living spaces that deliver tangible benefits that take CTK, or position CTK at the center of that, powering that ecosystem.
I'm sure Construct Koin is going to be a complete game changer.
We believe so. And I'm glad you agree.
Yes. So where do you see your Construct Koin by the end of 2026? And what can early believers expect over the next, we can say, next 6 to 12 months?
That's a really great question, and I'm really glad that you've asked it. So I have a vision of opening up my wallet, my digital wallet, and seeing CTK prominent, right? That's groundbreaking. But the truth is that the process to getting there will involve us achieving a number of milestones. We're in our pre-sale phase at the moment, right? So as we've been laying the foundation and evolving these use cases and making them real in in the living spaces that we're powering, the token increases in value. We will have our token generation event where we'll unlock our tokens on exchanges, and we're in conversation with some, but we're looking for the best routes to market for that. So, to the community, this is about us tying up commercials with the right platform to deliver our token generation event. From there, we're on a trajectory to develop our stablecoin. And I think realistically, by the end of 2026, that's where we'll be. We'll be at that milestone with a route to building our network to evolve the stablecoin into something much more permanent as an altcoin, where CTK has a tangible use case in day-to-day experiences in consumers, where the living space that is owner-occupied is the starting point of their journey with CTK in a transactional environment, and that will be executed through a wallet on their phone or through whatever the medium is that enables us to transact. But we very much see CTK as a token exchange, a token of value that will be used in a wallet for a traditional payment processor, maybe, or maybe we're in a situation where we're able to enable that ourselves. But you'll be able to tap and transact using the value of your CTK. And that will be fundamentally from the loan book that we're creating. So the developments that we will fund across the UK, the disintermediation that we're delivering into real estate sales and lettings, and how we build a business model that changes the way properties are bought and sold, the way tenants access and let properties. And then thirdly, and this is a really, really big part of this story, is the smarter homes concept and how we're able to integrate to other technology to deliver a really smart living space that enables the resident to transact using CTK tokens.
That will be amazing. So how does that, tokenizing property loan actually work? What kind of legal safeguards protect investors?
Yeah, that's another great question. So
Thank you.
the first and most thunderous statement to make in answer to your question is that all CTK lending is secured by a title deed. It's a legal charge that's registered through His Majesty's Land Registry in the UK, right? So the security is always on title. And of course, if you're aware of the conveyancing process, the buying and selling of land and property in the UK, that's a highly regulated, meticulous process that involves numerous highly regulated and professional processes, professional organisations, from surveyors to solicitors, and that pillar provides the optimum security. So a CTK lending is very much like a mortgage, right? It's the same process that traditional finance uses. The second part of that is the way in which we have structured the lending process. So business to business finance is unregulated. Our business is financing the property development business. So we're not suddenly hit with the burdens that regulatory environments provides when it comes to lending, right? So that's a huge opportunity for us because we're fundamentally funding commercial loans in the development space.
That's right.
That gives us the freedom to build our loan book. So the first pillar that a CTK holder sees, or potential CTK holder sees, is that we're a utility token. We're building the ability to provide appraisal services for lending. We're building AI concepts to be able to deliver innovation and change in real estate sales and letting, and the same for smarter homes, right? So the protocol is the utility. Now, one of the features of that protocol is our loan book. And our loan book is positioned, as I say, through a legal charge for a trustee arrangement where we secure our position on title and we deploy that lending. And we're either an owner of that company, Construct Koin is either an owner of that company or the beneficiary through that trustee. And we manage the relationship with people and companies like Adrian on that basis.
And probably worth mentioning at the level of leverage as well. So CK owns the loan, and they have the legal charge over the land, but we as the developer have to fund our proportion. So there's always a margin, I guess, is the security for anybody buying a token.
That's another great point. And actually the model that we're deploying is not dissimilar to the credit risk that traditional bank or lender would have, right? So our
Just a
exposure,
little bit more efficient.
just much more efficient, right? Just much more efficient. But our exposure will only ever be at a maximum of maybe 75% of the GDV, the gross development value. So we'll never overexpose ourselves. So there'll always be a buffer of equity value to protect CTK holders. And that's a really important point because we don't need to over leverage. And as Adrian very kindly highlighted, the contribution of the developer is to ensure that the proportion of that risk is commensurate to the reward. And we take the lending commitment, so we secure our position by taking priority on that title deed. And that means in the event of default or a problem, we're able to acquire that site and carry on ourselves or resell it. But we won't lose in the value because that value has been determined by professional organisations that the essential steps that are in the essential steps of the conveyancing process.
Wonderful. One last question. So when are you going to make it public? Public sale, when is getting launched publicly?
It's been a big secret up until very recently, Chourio. So look, we've been in private sale for quite a long time, right? We've introduced private investment to get the business started and making money, and that's a really important point. Coming back to your first question about our real world assets and what makes us different, our business is generating income right now through our partnership with organisations like Beaufort, right? Building and selling those properties. So that there's been a number of moving parts. So it's not like other events where it's just finite dates in signed and you just, you get started on that day. We've had to maneuver private sale into soft launch public sale. But actually next week, believe it or not, next week, next Friday, so that's 9 days from now, okay, is the actual date that we are getting started in full private sale into public sale, full public sale. We've got a huge amount of press teed up. We've done this great interview with yourself for your audience. We've had a few more, and yes, we'll be kicking off in earnest. So we're very much looking forward to it. And of course, all the other parties that have been involved in formulating CTK will slowly start to put their heads above the parapet and let their involvement be known as we push through the pre-sale. So of course, that is a constant activity, right? We'll be talking about what we're doing, how we've done it, who's involved, and where we're marketing. So as much as I'm saying, look, we're going public in 9 days' time, the truth is behind the scenes. We've been having these conversations with lots of people for a long time, right? And as a consequence of that, we've been picked up by Forbes, Binance. There've been a few people that have started talking about us, just wondering what we're up to and who is this CTK and who am I and who is the team behind it all and so on and so forth. But yeah, as I say, we're very much looking forward to just ticking those boxes and filling the blanks of what people might have as questions.
Perfect. So guys, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, check out the platform, Construct Koin. I will put all the details here along with the articles published by Binance and Forbes. So go ahead and grab the coins on priority. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. Have a great day.
Appreciate your time.
Great
Thank you
speaking
so
with you.
much.
Bye-bye.